Hello and welcome to Cinema Savvy, and welcome to our chat, discussion, speculation, predictions, whatever you want to call it, on the officially confirmed title drop for the new Star Wars movie. We can confirm that it is Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. This news really just came out of left field yesterday. Wasn't expecting it. There wasn't any kind of a pre-announcement to it. I just got back in, checked Facebook, boom, the new title's there in red font, which is, I don't want to say it's the first time Star Wars has done anything like that, because we'll talk about the font in much more depth. This is going to be insane as well, because we're going to have like a 10-15 minute live stream on a collection of 3 words with this thing, but that's what Star Wars does to us. So on the panel today, I'm Chris Garner, joined with George Aldridge and Al, who has agreed to jump on with us and speculate on some Star Wars. So should we kick off with the red font then, or do you guys just want to go into general opinions of what you actually think of the title as a whole?
I like it. For a title of a film, it's not hard to go wrong. Let's really be honest.
Yeah.
It's never fucked up a title of a film. And yeah.
Al, what do you reckon to the title?
I would have hoped they wouldn't use the word Jedi, because we've already got Return of the Jedi. I would have hoped they would have gone for something quite sort of, you've got Attack of the Clones, Empire Strikes Back. They're all very separate, self-contained. I would have thought they were going for something a bit less obvious, and something that you only understand what it means really when you watch the film.
Yeah. I like the title personally. I know when and maybe this was because of how many years between Star Wars movies we had, but when Force Awakens came out, I remember being blown away by the teaser trailer that came out, and then the title I was really kind of just iffy on. Like, I didn't really have an opinion either way on it. This I like. I think it's a solid title. I would have liked something a little bit more wordy. Like, if you're looking at the middle chapters of the Star Wars trilogies before this, we've had Empire Strikes Back, Attack of the Clones. The Last Jedi just seems really quick. It rolls off the tongue well, but if it's completely in keeping with this new trilogy. It's really difficult to know what to talk about with a title, but as I said, like, we have to do this for Star Wars. We were going to jump on this yesterday. We didn't think we really had to, but I think there's a lot to be said on this title anyway. So as I was talking about the red font, I don't want to say it's the first time that Star Wars has done it, because I think that there were some posters released of Return of the Jedi that did have a red font. I'm not sure if it was the case with actually Star Wars written in red as well, but I definitely think that's for a reason. Lucasfilm wouldn't put anything out there if they weren't okay with it and everything like that. So I think that the red font definitely says something of what we can expect for the tone of this movie. If they are going with that, it's the cliche thing to say, but like the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy, it's the middle chapter. And I think that Adam Driver himself in previous interviews has said that this one is going to be a lot darker than Force Awakens.
Yeah, I mean, with the red font, what struck me is I'm looking at all of my posters, and okay, there's different variants, the classic font, stuff like that. It's the first time you've got the Star Wars font of the yellow text in red, because every version has had a different style. So that was the first big thing. But going with the darker tones stuff, one thing I kind of picked up is that, in theory, this is the 4th film with a title to me that's about Luke. Because you've had The New Hope, which is obviously Luke being The New Hope. Return of the Jedi, although you can argue that's Vader, it's essentially about the Jedi. Force Awakens, they kind of say that's about Luke at the end, blah blah blah. Looking into it way deeper, that's the Last Jedi. Of course, it means him or Rey or both of them, because the plural of Jedi is Jedi. And if you look at the core of Episode VII, he's called the Last Jedi. Yoda calls him the Last Jedi, although he knows he has a sister. So I think it's about him, but I think it's definitely, let's put it in red, because you associate red with Sith, dark red lightsabers. So I'm just going to assume that rather than tell us how deep and dark it's going to get, just stick a campaign poster in red and it does the job for you.
And it's going to look great on all those toy boxes that come out towards December time with the red font. It's going to look great. Al, do you have any thoughts on just the color of the text, essentially?
Well, I noticed it was different, but never really thought about it. I assumed it was fan art to begin with, because it was red. And then you shared it, and I thought, okay, fair enough. But it's really weird, isn't it? Because you're used to seeing it the same way for over 30 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's mostly always been yellow.
Yeah.
They're not going to change it in like the film or anything like that. The opening crawl, they're still definitely going to keep it with the yellow font because fans would fucking riot if they changed it all to red for a second. But what George was hitting on there, we can talk about what we think the actual title means. So, The Last Jedi. Immediately for me, I read that and was like, "That's Luke Skywalker." And then you think about it a bit more, and you think, well, could it be Rey? Is she the last Jedi? Because we see at the end of the film, she brings the lightsaber to Luke to begin her training. She's clearly already got many Jedi traits. And then when you think about that, if you do put it on the flip side and say, well, Rey's the last Jedi, what does that mean for Luke? And then alarm bells are ringing in my head thinking, is Mark Hamill, is Luke Skywalker going to make it through all of this film, or is he going to die at the end? And, you know, they've killed Harrison Ford off the first one. If they get rid of Luke, in the first movie, he hasn't even said a single line of dialogue yet, and then you bring him into the second movie, and then if you kill him off in that one, it's going to be absolutely heartbreaking. But what do you guys think? Do you think there's a good chance that Luke Skywalker could die at the end of this one?
Yeah.
I think it's almost certain. Yeah.
He's going to be in Episode 9 regardless. If he's alive in the film, he'll be Episode 9, and he's dead in Episode 8, he will return as a Force Ghost. So the question is, you know Mark Hamill will be back for 2 films. Is Luke going to be a blue tint, or is he going to be, Luke? And he's going to go. I mean, what I texted you straight away was, it's about him at the start. He's the last Jedi, and when the film finishes, there'll be one Jedi left, and that Jedi's Rey. Because at the minute, yes, she's got traits, but she's not a Jedi. And if they want to progress, because Rian Johnson already said the first scene of the film is going to be that. He said that Celebration. It's going to be the first film set immediately afterwards. However, doesn't mean after 5 minutes they might jump forward a few months or a year. They did it in Rogue One. No one had any issues. Whether they want to do that in the main film, lead them to it. But yeah, I think Luke's gonna. I've kind of had that thought for a while, and if they've killed Harrison, they've got no issue killing that. Like I said, because he's Jedi, he'll come back. It's a bit different when it's like a non-Force character.
Yeah. I like the idea of him coming back as a Force Ghost, but I don't know if I can handle Luke Skywalker going in the movies because he is one of my favourite characters. But what you brought up as well is that, and I didn't even think of this, that The Last Jedi could refer in plural terms to both of them, and they could be the Last Jedi collectively. I didn't know if it was that because I know that Yoda says, when gone am I, the last of the Jedi you will be. So if it's referring to... I don't know where I'm going with this. If it's referring to one, it would be the last of the Jedi, right? But if it's both of them, the Last Jedi, it could mean both of them together.
Yeah, they could be wrong. And remember, Luke was training some Jedi, apparently. Before everything went to crap. So it's quite possible there's someone else who's going to be brought in.
Hopefully.
Who Luke trained, who will,
I mean, for all we know on the island, someone might come out of the shed and be like, well, I've already got a new apprentice for you. That's not going to happen. But there are 2, not Laura Dern, but there is a very young cast member who has been revealed nothing, which could very easily be something like that. I don't think it would be, though. But I think with this film, it's obviously it's going to be dark, but I think Rian Johnson, I mean, look at what he did with Breaking Bad. He knows how to direct. So he'll put a shock twist in, he doesn't care. He'll kill people who don't care. It's going to be very different to what we've seen. Not necessarily to Rogue One, obviously, as you know, I'm not going to spoil it, just in case there was one human being
the stragglers
who hasn't seen it yet. But they've showed that they're not afraid to do some bad things to people over the last 2 Star Wars films. So it could be something similar to that. But I kind of lost where I was going with that. No, that's it. I was going to talk about Benicio del Toro.
Yes.
I watched Rebels, and it's been a rumor for a while. It's never been confirmed, never been anything, because they've kept it so quiet. At the age of The Force Awakens, Benicio del Toro is roughly the age of what Ezra Miller will be if he survives Rebels.
Ezra Miller?
No, not Ezra Miller. God knows, stay decent. Ezra Bridger from Star Wars Rebels. God, that could have been really awkward. Yeah, so Ezra actually looks like Benicio del Toro as well. That's the weird thing. Whether or not that's his chin and their weird animation that makes the connection, but that's always been a rumor. So he could come as a Sith or a Jedi. To me, I think the first trailer will come to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
they advertised Force Awakens on a Monday night football game, which is just a bog standard weekly football game.
When is the Super Bowl?
Uh,
I don't follow these things, so I've no idea.
Late February. I just know it's in February, and the Patriots are there. I know nothing about American football, but people just tell me about the team called the Patriots and how good they are. But I mean, every film person knows of the Super Bowl because that's where the biggest film trailers are released. It's like £25 million for 30 seconds of advertising. So I could easily see Disney shipping out, 50 mil for a 1 minute trailer, release it online at the same time, and they'll have the ride in their hands.
Yeah, and then you can release your next one in May or June or whenever it makes sense for them to do that. The last other bit of speculation that I have heard is that The Last Jedi could be referring to the Knights of Ren, sort of going with what Al was just saying about how Luke did train up another bunch of Jedi who went rogue. I think they initially shot a lot more of that stuff for Force Awakens, and I think they cut it out because they do want to sort of blend it into the story as it continues. So maybe because it's the second chapter, we're going to get a lot more stuff involving that. We know there's clearly some stuff involving Rey's visions that she had, which I think is where you see initially the Knights of Ren. I think we're going to get a lot more of that. I don't know if the title will tie into that, but as you said with like Return of the Jedi, it could go with Luke or Vader. I think this is a title that is going to blend into many different areas of the story. So this is a very difficult video to make because it is just pure 100% speculation right now. But the title has got people talking, and it has generated a lot of ideas of what it could spell for Episode 8. So I'm pretty much done with saying everything I can on this. I don't know if you guys have got any other bits you want to bring up, or if not, we'll round it off.
It could refer to just last as in the previous. So
what do you mean?
Oh,
well, last doesn't mean the end of the final. It could mean the previous Jedi. It could just simply be that, and it's
you just want Qui-Gon back, don't you? You just want Force Ghosts.
I just want Qui-Gon back. That'd be great. It'd be great on the Jedi Council. I want a council of Force Ghosts.
well, they basically were Force.
Even Mace Windu.
Or the rumours that he might still be alive. Or Mace Windu is Snoke. I'm seeing that thrown around a lot.
He's not.
Who isn't Snoke?
It's just a better name than Snoke.
Hashtag your Snoke theory sucks. Thanks to Pablo Hidalgo from Lucasfilm Story. I hope we find out who Snoke is. I mean, I'm not going to say the obvious and say Darth Vader because that is the obvious and it probably is true. But I love something interesting like, oh yeah, he came to Luke and he helped him train these Jedi, and in the background he manipulated Kylo Ren and created Knights of Ren and butchered everyone. Because Han Solo knows who Snoke is. Mm-hmm. But I'm intrigued. I'm just excited for the trailer when it drops. I've got a good feeling it'll be the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to make us wait till April for trailer 1. I'm sure they'll do a teaser. Rogue One got 2 trailers and 1 teaser. And if it doesn't air at the Super Bowl, it will air on Good Morning America, because that Disney-owned ABC show, for some reason, has every single Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, definitely. And as soon as that trailer comes out, there'll be a reaction from me, probably many, many discussion videos with us as well. So that'll do it for our discussion and speculation on the title of Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. George, do you want to sort of tell people about the Star Wars podcast you're running?
Yeah, so we set up the one before Star Wars podcast. The name is itself. It's a podcast about Star Wars. It's every 2 weeks on a Wednesday. We had episode 1 last week, which took off well. Just getting some, not teething problems, but just trying out a few different content techniques. Join us again next Thursday, because we're kind of next Wednesday. And we'll be covering the news, Rebels, toy shelf, games. So much stuff gets covered, just getting to grips with it. But I can say we'll be talking about the title, 2 Oscar nominations, although they speak for themselves, alongside the box office stuff, and Woody Harrelson being naughty and confirming who he's playing. Or is he trolling? We will find out next December.
Awesome.
But yeah, just join us next Wednesday, next Thursday night, every 2 weeks.
Cool. So that'll do it for us today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. There'll be trailer reactions from me, movie reviews as well as we move closer to Academy Awards season, as well as our predictions of what we think is going to win at the Oscars. Expect that this Thursday, but we'll have a notice out on our Facebook and Twitter pages, which you can find the link for in the description below. So until the next video, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.